Hello everyone, I'm very happy to be with you today. My name is Magdala Ramirez. I come from the Maya Mexica tradition. And in this very powerful, intense times, we really want to talk about that personality. What is it and how it works? So you have your feminine side, which is your essence, which is your heart. Your heart that it is so connected with the one that created you. And then you have your mind. You have all the situations too that it has happened in your life. And that mind is also creating a personality. That is your way of living. That is your male side. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter your sexual preferences. It doesn't matter any of that. You still need to make this work. So what happened? For a long, long time, these two forces, your mind and your heart, were so completely divided. Divorce, we can say, so to speak. Your male side and your feminine side really just not get along. That is the fights that the people had within themselves for a very, very long time. So here is the situation. It is your heart that it is leading the way. It is your heart, the one that it is enlightening your mind. And we have been speaking about this in many other radio talks. You can find it in our archives. Yet, what it is important to notice in here, like people has been asking me, and we have this big talk yesterday too about that. What is that personality and how it gets into a point through that spiritual work that finally there is a reconciliation. There is a part within yourself that you can see both really working together, really understanding how that mind and that heart are really working together by the personality allowing that guidance from the heart, and from that heart to be able to bring that light and enlighten your mind. So what is that personality and how it works? Thus it is actually working for you. If you see your personality as a hawk, it really contains just that part of that mundane life that you have. Your cultural beliefs, your ways of how do you do in the outside world, how do you relate in the outside world. And it is charged by many experiences. It is charged by families and dynamics of the family too. It is charged by deep pain too, by tribes. It is charged with many other situations that in some way or another you allow this to happen. That personality, that male way too, it is there to protect. But when that protection puts your heart in a little cage because you're so afraid to get hurt, you're so afraid to love. And you can see the situations in people. They can be very amazing, loving people, yet they behave completely the contrary. They behave such a not perfect match for that heart that it wants to love, that it is longing for this amazing relationship within the self. And that fear of love, it is very typical nowadays in the people, because that's what the train was. You follow the male way. You allow that personality to be the boss instead of the heart to lead the way. And this is a very, very important teaching, because you can see how that personality, when it is working with your heart, It is truly allowing that enlightenment to flourish, that enlightenment to come forward. You begin to react in a very different way, not just in the same way over and over and over again. You begin to understand life in a very different way. Yes, you are having your experiences, yet you're learning from your experiences. The one that it is pushing the button, so to speak, in the hologram, it is your heart. What does that personality needs? What do that personality needs in order to listen to that heart? And that need, it is very, very understood by that higher self of yours. That place within you that it is a balance in some way or another of that male and female. See this like a triangle. In one side of that triangle, you are on the top. In one side of the triangle, it is your heart. In the other side of the triangle, it is that male side, your personality, your mind, your setup, your mind that it can be a very, very strict way of thinking. That kind of my way or the highway. My understanding, it is the only way. That place in you of what do you think about the learning process. But your heart knows better. And in our tradition, they talk about the two hearts. One heart that contains all the pain and suffering too. All the stories that has happened in your life. But behind that heart, it is the one that is actually connecting with the multiverse. It is actually holding hands with the one that created you. And that heart, it is reporting to the source constantly about what is that evolution of that soul. Because you are that soul. You are that spirit. So when you can see as a higher self in that top of that triangle, you can see what is it and how it works and how to make this possible. So whatever the personality desires and needs and wants and be afraid of and all these situations, emotions that they are stuck in there too, the heart is going to keep on sending, what do you need? To that higher self, and the higher self is going to say, okay, let's make this hologram and see if that will trigger some learning. Let's see how that one is going to work. You know, put attention about this because it is just way too important and it is a scientific thing. You know that it is the heart, the one that always chooses. And it makes believe the mind that you're being rational. And it is always completely emotional. If you see it closely, it doesn't matter what decision that you do. What is that decision that you think is very rational? It is not. It is really coming from that heart. And it is launching a very different reality. A reality that you are choosing. So when you hold hands with your heart as a personality, you're allowing that beautiful enlightenment to happen. Because the heart knows. You always know. You know exactly what is going to happen because that heart is not bounded by time. The personality is. That heart, it is always in communion with the source. And the personality is not. That heart understands that by not being bounded by time, of course you can see future, you can see the past and go into the past and resolve many situations, allow the healing that it is coming from the source, from this one, the one that created you. This part of the heart recognizes that you are divine, and of course you never die. Everything that you do in that level of consciousness, it is completely eternal. Love is eternal. And love has no distance. It doesn't matter if it is through the multiverse, through so many galaxies, you still recognize that there is a connection. The heart knows that there is only one. And you are just in this beautiful connection with absolutely everything. In that connection, it is just showing you why is that connection. Because there is only one. And you're part of it. The personality feels part of it. Yet your heart feels the whole. It's a very different, let's say, laws that one have. And the other one needs to comprehend this. The heart, it is free. You are able to love everyone that you want. You are able to love no matter what it is or what it is the situation. You understand that you are love. And you have just many, many, many realms. You understand that dimensionality while the personality wants to stay in that little world of yours. You know, paying bills, paying taxes, and seeing the things through that cultural belief constantly. Yet your heart also contains so much of that power that comes directly from the source. You are completely telepathic. You have your own sets of senses that by the time that it gets into the personality are so limited, isn't it? You know, you have that heart that you can call it superpowers, but you see it is much more normal because in there is your unique vibration. It is your original true human being. And while the personality feels I need to be different or I need to change, otherwise I'm not going to be loved. So there is a pretendance, there is so many situations that the personality thinks I'm not going to express that bonding. I'm not going to express that love. I'm not going to express that wisdom, what other people would think about me. Hooks and hooks that comes from that little set mind. Now, you can see a certain space when that personality finally said, okay, I need to silence myself so I can listen. There you go. It's a crack. A good crack that light begins to shine. And as you use it more and more and more, that light can go to every aspect of yourself. In physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in the spaces and the dimensions and the parallel universes, every aspect of yourself. Because they all come from the same source. And you just need that little crack in order for allow that light to happen. What happens when that light is coming forward? Yes, you allow those changes in the personality. You begin to comprehend that there is a reason why you are in this realm. You begin to remember who you are. You begin to understand that you don't need to be a beggar of love. You allow that power to come in and use it for the highest good as it meant to be. And understanding that there is only one. You know, there is that part of you, of that higher self, whatever image that you have about the higher self. It is the one that it is connecting both of them. And that both of them, it is creating a frequency range. If you see everything in the matter of energy, not about good and evil. What it is good in one place, it might be not in another country. You know, it's cultural. It's part of that personality. Yet, there is this part of you that recognizes that higher vibration and lower vibration. You can feel it within your own self. And you can transmute yourself. You can heal your physical body. Your understanding within your own self. And how do this work? Understanding, healing, embracing. Yes, that personality wants to be understood. That's why in your personality people come out with all kinds of justification. And even blaming others. You know, it's a victim. It's a trauma, that victimhood. While the heart recognizes what is the true in all this. And true, yes, of course, it brings liberation. Every time that you choose that truth, it will bring a liberation. Because that's the crack that you are able to enlighten your personality, enlighten your mind. A set-up mind, sometimes a set-up mind was from people that they have been in this planet for a long, long time. Nowadays, you find set minds already in teenagers, which is really a tragedy, because it is really not something that you want to just set it up. You want to keep on expanding your neural network, finding new ways, evolve. And that evolution is very, very important to recognize what is it when you expand that part within you. And the only way to do this is that truth that you are, that your heart is. She is leading the way. You know, it is about that feminine leading the way, the great mother. Leading the way to where? To come back home. Where is home? That fifth dimension that it was the original realm for the human being. And from there, of course you go up. Of course you encounter many parts of that realm. Of course you recognize a very different story of what it means to be human. Think about it. Where is that work? Of course we can help you about spiritual work in our school online. That it will begin in fall equinox very, very soon, maybe a week more. And I want you to participate in this because that's the journey that you are into it. How to understand that spiritual work. We are creating so many beautiful things in our website too that soon we're going to announce it. And I really recommend for you to download our app, Messages from the Great Mother, and receive a little message every day. In that perfect synchronicity, when I think about that, it's just so beautiful. I am so thankful for all of you. We are everywhere in the world. People listening to us, and I'm so, so happy. Make my heart bloom. Thank you for your work. Tlatzokomate, Tlatzokomate, Tlatzokomate. I am you. I am Magdala.